This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. A cloudy and cooler start to the day, and unseasonably warm temperatures could officially be a thing of the past this season. Now, if we could just get some rain. Meteorologist Gary Frank in the Weather First Weather Center to tell us about the chances of that for the next 24 hours.
There are a few spots starting to get some of it, or at least they're going up. I think it's, once again, the only chance we have for the next 10 days. So we really, whatever we get is a positive. If nothing else has cooled us down. That's what we're going to see. We've got a couple of different fronts that are going to bring us back. We had our last 90-degree day of the season yesterday. So that's a positive for a lot of us, as you don't need to worry about using your AC as much. Unless, you can't leave your windows open because you got the mold count so high. We do have this rain that's probably going to help with that a little bit. And some of it you'll notice as some of those darker shades of yellow and orange kind of fizzle out at Rolla or in Sullivan. And the big picture shows that most of that rain stays there. I think areas on the Missouri side are more likely to get rain, even though it feeds out just a little bit. Areas off to the southwest specifically getting more of that, as temperatures holding steady from 76 in Edwardsville to 66 in Washington, where some of that rain has continued to fall. Behind that, you'll look on the other side of Kansas City, 50s and 60s, and that's what's headed our way. That's the significant difference and change that's on our way. So I think there'll be a few showers, specifically on the Missouri side by early afternoon, that fizzles out. But then we're going to see a second round of an opportunity as we see the main front that moves through later on tonight. And that's what we'll track for you, talk about amounts that are possible and the big change with some of us looking at an early frost this weekend.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Gary. We continue our coverage of the homeless situation in downtown St. Louis. The encampment outside of City Hall is no longer there. This after a full day of activity inside and outside City Hall. 5 on your side's Alex Fees reports.
Officials with the Mayor Tashara Jones administration say the dozens of people who had been living in tents here outside City Hall yesterday were provided with shelter. They were also provided with other resources in the cases where those people were willing to accept those resources. Now, it took all day to clear out the makeshift homeless encampment, which took over City Hall's front lawn for more than a month. Single people, couples, and families with pets broke down their tents under the watchful eye and direction of St. Louis police. Nonprofit officials also showed up yesterday to help the nearly 40 homeless people transfer from tents to the city's federally funded Tiny Homes Transitional Village that is located near Jefferson and Delmar. The city forced departure was an emotional experience.
This is the only place where I can keep all my dogs and keep my wife there. This was home and they took it away from us, and that's wrong.
Many of them are going to other shelters and other locations where hopefully they could get the support that they need.
In a statement, Mayor Tashara Jones said yesterday in part, quote, "Homelessness and housing instability cannot be fixed overnight, but St. Louis is breaking from past practices by ensuring we have places for people to go where they can get support and get on a path to permanent housing." Now, city officials say another goal they have is to provide those people with employment resources, with employment opportunities. Later this week, Vice President Kamala Harris and members of the Democratic National Committee are scheduled to visit the Gateway City. The Jones administration has received some criticism for clearing City Hall just before that event happens. However, officials at City Hall and Mayor Jones' administration say the two events are not connected. One did not happen because of the other. Reporting downtown, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
Many who live and work downtown are happy with the city's efforts to clear the encampment. They say it wasn't helpful for the image of St. Louis. Advocates for the homeless say the encampment placement at City Hall was a protest due to the lack of resources in the city. Tanner Tucker with the Downtown Neighborhood Association says he understands the concerns to clean up the city, as well as the need to get help for people without homes.
It's a challenge because these people are humans. They've obviously come on hard times. It is a sanitation issue. It's an issue for visitors around town and those that come into our city, bringing people back to the office, bringing conventions to town.
The city used more than $1 million in COVID relief funds to build 100 tiny homes for homeless people. The funds are also helping build 900 affordable housing units. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen will soon vote on short-term rental regulations. A committee passed the legislation yesterday. Only individuals, not companies, can apply for short-term rental properties. Owners can only have 4 non-occupied rentals. A minimum 2-night stay is required for parties or event spaces. Violators could be fined up to $500. In about an hour, you'll receive an emergency alert on your phone, TV, and radio, but it's only a test. You'll get the notification about 1:20 p.m. FEMA and the FCC are testing the emergency alert system all across the country. They want to ensure all systems are running smoothly in the event Americans are threatened by national disasters, terrorism, or other dangers to public safety. That test is required every 3 years. For the first time in U.S. history, lawmakers voted out the Speaker of the House. In a 216 to 210 vote, they ousted Kevin McCarthy. NBC's Bree Jackson has the latest from Washington.
The chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
A sense of frustration from some lawmakers following the historic decision to oust Kevin McCarthy from his job as House Speaker. The move comes after heavy criticism from hard-right conservatives who slammed his decision to work with Democrats to avoid a government shutdown.
Doing the right thing isn't always easy, but it is necessary. I don't regret standing up for choosing governance over grievance.
Florida Representative Matt Gaetz led the motion to vacate.
It's the benefit of this country that we have a better Speaker of the House than Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy couldn't keep his word.
Only 8 members of the GOP voted to remove McCarthy. Democrats sealed his fate.
Nobody trusts Kevin McCarthy, and why should we?
McCarthy's removal has further divided Republicans.
It's disgusting. It's what's disgusting about Washington.
We're all adults here. We're all about making deals and negotiating, and that's the way this place works.
Now, lawmakers must decide who will lead the House majority moving forward. McCarthy says he will not run for Speaker again. And Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina now serves as temporary Speaker. He plans to hold an election for a permanent replacement next week. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Next Tuesday, the House will hold a candidate forum with an internal House Republican election the following day. Once a candidate's chosen, a House floor vote for the speakership could happen as early as next Wednesday. Pressing pause on a redevelopment plan in Chesterfield. The legal action Dillard's is taking against the developers wanting to revamp the old mall. Soon, your inbox won't be so clogged with spam mail. The new rules coming to Gmail accounts.